Got 2 minutes. You notice how careful I am with who I ask you to do,
Yeah.
right? And thank you for being here and doing it.
Very welcome.
We got 2 more minutes, Sean, and then we're gonna open the meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Would you please sign in with whatever you're here for? Thank you so much. There's 3 different ones there, and yes, I saw the wave.
That's Genevieve.
Yeah.
Well,
You're all set.
no, I wasn't going to print out a 65-page application, so
But I do have it. Jessica printed it for me. I didn't realize it was 65 pages. Like, oh my good God. I'm going to open the meeting of the Development Review Board, August 5. And welcome 2 of our applicants. Thank you for coming. We have no other visitors, so we have no public comments. I have no additions to the agenda. John, Diane, thank you so much. I would like a motion to approve the minutes of July 15th. There are 3 of us of the 5 present, so we can do that. So if someone would make that motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Diane.
Second.
Thank you so much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Aye.
you. Okay. Righty. I'm doing the minutes at the same time, so excuse me while I waste time doing that.
What's that?
We're gonna need some air conditioning. So did you turn them both off? Because we're gonna definitely need one. It's hot in here. So thank you. Going to open the hearing on application 2024-117. The property address is 12 South Main. Genevieve, if you'd like to come up.
Sure.
You and Vincent are the owners.
Yes.
The proposal is replacing existing sign over the entryway with new sign that includes business logo in the historic design review overlay in the village district. The applicable code sections are Article 2, Section 221, 224, 226, 227, 229, 233, 234, 271, 272, Article 4, Section 440, 450B, Article 5, Section 520, 521, 522, and Article 8, Section 833, 850, 870, 871, 873, and 874. So, board, are there any conflicts of interest or ex parte discussions?
No.
Thank you so much. Would you please be so kind as to raise your right hand? And do you swear the testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you so much. I get to be your case manager, so we will just start right in. And I have a question. So I was just told today that your building's on the market.
It happened so quickly.
What, that it happened or that
No,
the word got out?
Word gets out.
Oh,
yeah,
oh, man.
Genevieve, have you
town.
seen how big this town is?
I know.
Right?
So I figured that issue might arise at this meeting. So we don't want to sell. That's the short side of it.
Well, excuse me 1 second. Would you move
Oh,
the
yeah.
mic over? We're recording. So yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Sure. The long part, I guess, is it's been a really rough, well, it's been over a year, but since we opened in January. And I have no time for my kids, my 3 and my 8-year-old. Because I figured like it may be like the 6-month mark, I could start to transition to at least have like almost full-time, but sort of like part-time employees to work the counter. But we did that over the summer for a few days a week. Every single day I was losing money on payroll, workers' comp, the cost to run the payroll, taxes, etc. So we've been trying to stay afloat, and so I have to be there a lot more often now than
I'm
I.
gonna interrupt again. Could you guys please check, look at the page. There's 3 there, citing on the one that you're here for. Thank you. Yeah, I apologize because
Oh,
I'm,
that's okay.
What does that have to do with this? What does that have to do with our application? What is this?
we're looking at a sign application for a building for sale.
Right.
So that
So-
has something to do with it.
While you're
Not,
interrupted, I checked the ACs on different circuits, so not worried about the thing. Like, you can breakers before.
Wait a minute, I guess,
So they can both be on, you want to move
no,
on? Oh.
not, because then I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but
One out.
one on.
Okay.
Thank you. So, okay, my apologies.
Oh, that's okay.
Very
Um,
discombobulated. So
So
I
I'm
guess
having
the
to be there
question,
a lot.
because Diane is questioning why I asked the question. Are you actively selling?
So we are listed, but it's at a number where we would have to get like full asking or above to actually sell. It's sort of a preemptive move in the case that, let's say a year from now, it takes a long time with commercial building. I just didn't want to get to that point and not be prepared if I'm not able to have enough sales to have employees there, that I don't have to be there like 6-7 days a week. Because I have my kids there like in the office, and they're like on there's only so many like art projects they can do. So they're like sitting on their tablet and bored. And it's been really rough. We did just transition over to like an artist membership
Oh, that's
thing. So ideally that picks up speed in the next few months, which I already got like 4 artists in the last few weeks.
Nice.
So that would be a thing where it works for the artist and the gallery. So essentially they pay like a nominal fee. It's like $10 a month to have their space. So it's 120 a year. And then the commission starts at 45% to the gallery. And then every 3-hour shift that they can run the counter, and they could be doing their art while they're there too, and talking to
Well, that makes it even
customers.
more fun for the people who come in.
Right.
So that's great.
So it's like an
Yeah.
active thing. So every 3-hour shift that they can work, and it's up to 6 shifts in a month, the commission goes down 5% each time.
So cool.
So hypothetically, if they did 6 shifts in a month, the commission would only be 15% to the gallery, and it also helps us. So,
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's good.
well, there's a gallery in Bellows Falls that I visited when I went to the Vermont Preservation Trust thing with Gretchen.
Yeah.
And they've been operating since like the 70s. And so they have it like all down pat. So I asked Wanda, one of the members who's been there for a few decades, and she just broke down that same arrangement. And
That's cool.
I was like, this is perfect.
right.
So I really hope it picks up momentum for the space, because then that would kind of change everything.
Yeah.
Well, that would also, I mean, that would be so fun for people coming in to be able to actually talk to an artist. I unfortunately babysat, so I was not able to go to the grand opening on Friday of the gallery up in Dover.
Oh, me either.
Oh, I love art space,
Yeah.
yes. So that's where we're at. I just don't want to be caught in like a really bad position. I want to make sure like our ducks are in a row and I have options if I need to, but I love, and Vinny loves that building, Diane
Oh,
knows.
gosh.
And so it is our goal in the best of all possible worlds to have this structure be successful so that we can continue doing what we promised to do to the building.
Cool, thank you. And
You're welcome.
thank you for answering. I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
it's
that was
just-
very long.
No, that's fine.
So everybody
But-
everyone out there caught that. If you have artist friends, please contact Genevieve.
Yes, thank you.
Right. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the exhibits. So the exhibits that I have are Exhibit 1, which is the application, which is 4 pages. Exhibit 2 is the picture of the proposed new sign. Exhibit 3, which is pictures of the building that you submitted with the current sign and the proposed new sign, that's 2 pages. Exhibit 4 is the hearing notice, and Exhibit 5 is the abutters list. So would you like to just kind of give us a quick synopsis of why, in your words, you'd like to change the sign?
So in the first place, the original design, which is so beautiful on a business card, it's too thin. So like at a distance, when you see the word art house, and we've gotten feedback from customers trying to find the building, the font is thin, and from far away, it's a little confusing to read. It doesn't just say art house. So in the new design, we thickened the stroke of the font a little bit, so it's more, you can more clearly see art house. And then also it's like, you know, whatever it is, like a foot wider, so it will be a lot bolder and be very clearly legible as art house. And then the other part of it was, I had originally requested to just have the sign say art house because I thought that was simple and like very in line with downtown sort of format for signs. But it would be so nice to incorporate the logo mark, which is in the shape of our stained glass windows. Because it has color and life, and it's artsy. It represents the architecture of the building, and including the window, the logo mark, we would have a much taller, more prominent sign also. So it would be more visible for people coming from the intersection to see that there's something there.
And we've got the new wayfinder.
Love that. Love
The new
those
sign in the
wayfinding
park.
signs. They're so great.
Yes, well, it was well done to put that one together with
Mhm.
V-Trans. V-Trans does not make our life simple here in town, right, John?
That is correct.
Definitely not a user-friendly organization. Well, okay, thank you so much. So going forward, we have to go through all those things, the conditions. So Article 2, all of those conditions simply are the rationale for why you are here and how the DRB operates, because these are all the basis for our being here. So all of those different sections that I went over.
Mhm.
So we've got the public hearing and why everybody's here, but we also have the criteria for obtaining a sign waiver, and all of this is under the administrative section 2, which is the administrative procedures. So that just, I just want to be sure you understand that all of Article 2 just explains why unfortunately the zoning administrator could not take care of it for you, and
Right.
you have to come to us for the conditions.
Right.
So thank you. Then Article 4 is our districts and uses. You are in the village district and you are also in the historic overlay. So because of that, you have to go through the village district rules and regulations and the historic design. So do you understand all of that?
Yes.
I mean, obviously you do because we've done this with you before.
Yes.
When you first bought the building, right? So are there any comments? Any questions? Do you have any questions at this point?
No.
Okay, super. So then, Article 5 is the design review district, overlay district, which for you is the historic design review district. And the goals of the historic design review district are to preserve the historic and cultural heritage of the historic downtown, to support maintenance, change, and preservation of building and property in accordance with the design guidelines of this zoning ordinance and consistent with recognized and accepted standards for historic preservation projects, to promote the use of buildings and property in a manner that benefits the community and individual property owners while preserving those features that have architectural and historic merit, to attract visitors and encourage tourism by enhancing the visual character as a New England village, to encourage maintenance and preservation of building and property and changes to support a visually attractive village for the pleasure of residents and visitors, to encourage and support economic growth and prosperity within the community while maintaining the New England character, to encourage public and private investments that may result in a positive contribution to visual harmony and economic vitality and protect these assets for future generations. So the goals of the district have to be considered, shall be considered by the Development Review Board when considering the proposed sign replacement. So do you agree that your new sign works within all of the historic design review district requirements?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And then the next thing is we have to go through all of Article 8, which is signs.
Okay.
So as you know, this is a conditional sign waiver. Your size is bigger and your design is different from the requirements for overhanging signs. So I want to be sure that you understand the sign standards and that these do not fit within what Jessica can do, and that's why you have the pleasure of sitting here with us tonight. Okay. So do you understand that your new sign is specific to those conditional requirements?
Yes.
Okay, and you feel that it meets all of that? The setbacks and the height limitations and everything?
Yes.
And I mean, and the new design.
Mm-hmm.
So any questions, John?
I have none.
Diane?
No, I mean, I think it's a nice, great design. It fits the context of the village and historic, and I think it's, yeah, I mean, I have no objections.
So, do you have any questions for us?
No.
Well, then, thank you so much. And I am going to close the hearing on your case, and you understand that when we make a decision, you will get it through Jessica.
Oh, yes.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Thank
see
you.
right through that.
Yeah.
But yes, thank
Simple.
you.
Thank you.
And
Beautiful.
I hope that the new plan works for you because we want to have you continue
Yeah.
Thank you.
in the valley. Thank you.
I appreciate spreading the.
Yes,
word
well, I have a
about
few,
that.
I'm gonna send you, myself included.
Good.
I've been trying to get.
All right.
Like I said, what's the gallery name? Can't let you out.
Oh, Art House. Yeah, right down there, there's a library.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thanks, Genevieve.
Thank you.
Okay, so. Thank you all. Okay, so that hearing has been closed. I'm gonna open the hearing on application 2024-122. I'm sorry. Property address is 259 Route 100 North. Eric, you are with us on Zoom.
It's Sean Wagner. Eric is my
Sean.
brother. I'm the co-owner of the property.
So who is Eric?
My brother, he's the co-owner of the property and the applicant.
So are you going to be his agent tonight?
Yeah, sure. You can consider me an agent.
Is Eric?
They're co-owners.
Co-owners?
Well,
We are co-owners of the property.
Okay,
and it's Sean.
Wagner.
How do you
Yes,
spell it?
SHAWN.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So you are not in Park Ridge, New Jersey.
I am not. I can
Okay.
give my address for the record if you need it.
Do you happen to, Jessica, do you have Sean's address?
Can it,
Only if
Email?
he's on tax bill, I don't think so.
Would you be so kind, Sean, as to email to Jessica Roberts your address so we can put that into the correct information? Because all we have right now is Eric's address.
Sure. Can I email Jessica at the close of the hearing?
You can email Jessica at any time so that we have it, so I can put it in when we go forward with your decision. So that would just appreciate it.
Sure,
You have Jessica's email?
I do.
Super, thank you. Okay, so we're opening with you. Our proposal for this application at 259 Route 100 North is a 5-bedroom short-term rental in the residential district. Our applicable code sections are Article 2, Section 221, 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, 271, 272. Article 4, Section 420, 440, 450C, and Article 7, Section 710, 720, 721, 722, 730D and H. To the board, any conflicts of interest or ex parte
No.
discussions?
No.
So Sean, the way we run these is we get one of our members and have them be the case manager for each case.
Okay.
Diane Abate is going to be your case manager.
Hi, Diane.
Would you be so kind as to raise your right hand? And do you swear the testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sean. So Diane, you go ahead.
all right, how are you, Sean?
Good. How are you, Diane?
All right. So I have exhibits that I'm going to go through and just so we can get them on record. I've got exhibit 1, which is the DRB findings of fact sheet for the notice. Exhibit 2, I've got the warning. Exhibit 3 is the application, 3 pages. Exhibit 4, your short-term rental safety, health, and financial form. Exhibit 5, copy of the deed. Exhibit 6, I've got floor plans. Exhibit 7 is the list of abutters, and I have Exhibit 8, which is a hand sketch of the property showing your parking spaces and property line dimensions and setbacks. All right, that's everything.
Yes.
So as you heard, Cheryl, we went through the applicable codes. Article 2 sections basically just are administrative, explaining, you know, why you're here before the board, and basically just lays out some administrative things in terms of us reviewing your work and rendering a decision based on what you've submitted and what you testified to. Decisions usually take, we have 45 days to return a decision, but we generally take less than that. So we do our best to do less than that.
We hope to do.
We
less
hope
than
to
that.
do less than
We
that.
always try to do less than that.
Fair enough.
All right. So if you could just, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the project in general, just so we have an understanding. This is an existing property that had 4 bedrooms, but is going to have 5, and you want to change or add an additional use for the property to be used for short-term rental. I'll let you go ahead.
Correct.
and-
It was an existing 5-bedroom house when we bought it. We bought it in June of this year. And we'd like to be able to use it ourselves, and when we're not using it, be able to rent it out as a 5-bedroom. And I understand that we need it's a conditional use in order to rent it out as a short-term rental as a 5-bedroom. That's the purpose of the application.
Correct, okay. All right, so that takes us into sections 420, 440, and 450. You are in a residential district, and short-term rentals with 5 or more guests is a conditional use, and that is why you are here. So yes. Great. Yes, ma'am.
You got to come up though. Thank you. So we're going to hear Jessica Roberts. and
Yeah, I
she
just
is-
want to clarify that on that point.
Which one?
So about the 4th bedroom, so it's listed as a 4-bedroom home in our records. It was never the 5th bedroom wasn't permitted. So we're also asking to permit that 5th bedroom before we can rent it as a 5-bedroom. We only have it listed as a 4-bedroom house. In other words, we need to first turn it into a 5-bedroom home before we can get them a 5-bedroom short-term rental permit.
So in the lister's card, it's listed as a 4-bedroom house?
4-bedroom, yep.
So Sean, in your understanding, when you and Eric and your partners purchased this, did you think it was 4 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms?
We believed it was a 5-bedroom house. There's 4 bedrooms on the top floor and 1 bedroom on the bottom floor.
So it appears that the lister's card might have been incorrect, because, correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't add any bedrooms. This is pre-existing bedrooms.
You did
Correct.
not add any bedrooms.
We did not add any bedrooms.
Okay. So the warranty deed doesn't say anything about that, of course.
You know, a lot of times the listers, if they can't inspect the house, they're just guessing at the number of bedrooms based on the size.
And the sketch,
There's floor
we
plans.
got the first floor,
Yeah,
we got the
got
second floor. We don't have the lower level. Right?
There are 2 floors there, correct? There's the first floor and the second floor.
right.
Correct.
There are no other floors. The first floor contains 1 bedroom,
Yeah,
and
there's one bedroom
and the
on-
second floor contains 4 bedrooms.
So according to your, what you submitted in your exhibits, there is a first bedroom on a bedroom on the first floor
Yes,
and the rest on the second.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Jessica, I'm not clear on what we have to do in terms of, I mean, according to what we're accepting here for exhibits, it's a 5-bedroom home.
Right, but we only have it listed as a 4th bedroom, so we have to officially make it a 5-bedroom home. So the listers will change their card to a 5-bedroom home. And then at the same time, we can get it, the short-term rental 5-bedroom short-term rental use on
So
the
Do
property.
you understand what we're talking about here, Sean? The
I do
listers-
not.
So, the assessor's office has what's called a lister's card, because we used to have listers, but now we have assessors. And so you need to probably get in touch with, the young lady who is the administrative assistant for the assessor in the assessor's office, and ask for her to, and she will email you the lister's card. And when we change the lister's card from 4 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms, that could well change your appraised value. So you need to be. aware
Usually
of
just
that.
with bathrooms. I was just
Sorry?
talking to her today. It's usually when adding bathrooms changes it. Adding a bedroom isn't, especially since he's not really adding a bedroom, it's not new construction. They're just really correcting the count of the bedrooms in the
Okay.
existing house.
So, but
It's
I
more of
want
a
to be sure
correction.
that the owner is aware. Okay, so what we're doing, Sean, is through this request your application, and we will be clarifying that it is a 5-bedroom home. And so you should get in touch with Sarah in the assessor's office. And her phone number is, or you can email her, it's all on the website.
Okay.
And just be sure that you get the lister's card and make sure that she understands that we are making that change tonight.
Well, she will get the she'll get
Go
the
ahead,
permit and
John.
make that
So
change.
I am confused. What are we permitting tonight? Because it's a dwelling, one family, so that already exists.
So the-
Yes.
So there isn't a dwelling, 5 bedrooms.
If
So-
you add a bedroom, you need to get a permit to add that bedroom. So we're adding a bedroom, even though we're not adding the construction of a bedroom, we're just adding a bedroom count. So Sarah always gets a copy of all of our permits and she changes the lister's card based on the permit. So we want Sarah to understand this is you have it listed as a 4-bedroom, but it's actually a 5-bedroom home. So you're not adding a bedroom construction wise, but you are actually acknowledging that the 5th bedroom is there. So it will change the lister card.
I understand the lister card. I'm
This
talking
is
about the
a-
permitting.
Correction, right?
Yeah, I don't really
It's a
care about
correction.
the assessor's office. I care.
It's an
about-
existing single family home.
Right.
You're adding a bedroom to an existing single family home, and then you're adding short-term rental use to those 5
But
bedrooms.
we're not really adding a bedroom because, as you said, we're not doing construction. We have a single family home that consists of 5 bedrooms. Where because
You're
of
recognizing
our
the 5th bedroom.
permitting, the lister's card, if I understand correctly,
Yep.
will be corrected to
Yes.
show that you have a 5-bedroom home.
Yep,
So, but we're not changing what we're doing.
No.
right.
This
The
is-
house is old enough that we don't know, anything about number of bedrooms in the past. We don't know how many. It seems like the applicant, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what their statement is, it's always been a 5-bedroom home. We just had it listed incorrectly in our
That's-
record.
That's correct.
That Sean's with us because you're not in the room having the pleasure.
Yeah, that's correct. It's always been a 5-bedroom is my understanding, and that's how it was purchased.
Just get in touch with Sarah in the assessor's office anyhow, just
I
to
will.
clarify. Thank you, Jessica, at that end.
Yep.
But yes, we are looking at a single-family home and we are looking at a short-term
Rental.
use, right, for 5 bedroom. And that's why you get the pleasure of talking to us.
Right.
All right.
So-
Okay, thank you, Diane.
All right,
Go
let's
ahead.
take it away. So now, because we are adding this short-term rental use, you also, you need to meet Article 7 and the various standards under Article 7. So I'm going to run through that list and you can respond as to whether or not this change of use will have any effect on these performance standards that I'm going to go through. All
Okay.
right. So under section 710, performance standards is vibration, that this new use will not have a continuous or permanent or ongoing or frequent vibration that is discernible at the property line.
It will not.
Noise is continuous, permanent, ongoing, or frequent noise in excess of that of a normal conversation must not exist at the property line.
It will not.
There are also hours from 9 PM and 7 AM that are also hours to be aware of in terms of excessive noise. So. All right. C, air emissions, commercial operations doesn't apply. We're not doing this commercial. This isn't commercial. This is a dwelling residential. Not injurious or noxious practices, no operations or use shall create any solid refuse or waste, heat, cold, dampness, explosive fire, glare, or other hazards which will cause injury or damage to human, animal health, vegetation, or property.
No change. No.
Any of those kind of activities? Okay.
No.
All right. Let's see, there are also general standards to ensure that this use will not have any adverse impact on the community, traffic, bylaws, utilization of renewable energy and natural resources. I think we can scratch. I think what we were looking at on 721. Air quality and character of the area. So again, this is to say that, you know, we've done multiple approvals of short-term rentals in residential areas, and this is fairly ordinary. And you know, we've looked at your site plan, and I can't see any adverse impact to traffic or roads, air quality or character of the area. You're not making any changes to the house, and
Correct.
so, all right. Okay, so those are the 721 general standards. There is also section 722 for conditional use preserving the character of the town or the district that you're in. And again, you have testified that you're not making any physical changes to the building. Is that it? It's just
Correct.
nothing, no changes to the land and.
No changes.
Huh. So there's really nothing to, I mean, it's, I don't know, any questions from you guys? It's
Nope.
No, thank you.
All right. Let's see, now we've got the specific standards under 730, section 730, and this has to do with other land development. And again, you've testified that you're not making any changes, but again, I'll run through them and you can respond for the record. So item A, for lighting and glare, any exterior lighting needs to be shielded and downcast. I don't know if you have any exterior lighting or if it's.
They are downcast.
And then they are downcast, okay.
Yes.
Safety, minimal physical hazards, where there are any potential safety hazards, you're not making
No.
changes, so can't see that's applicable. Parking for for a short-term rental, the requirement for parking is 0.75 parking spots per guest room. If you've got 5 guest rooms, that's 3.75 parking spaces, or 4 if you round it up. And based on your sketch, it appears that you have 6 parking spots.
Correct.
And they look to be of the ample size for parking cars. And that takes us to wastewater and potable water under item H. So, and I guess for this one, are you on a septic system or town water? Septic, I would imagine.
Septic.
And you have a well?
Yes.
So I guess for this one, I don't know if there's any.
So what we will need is, Jessica, could you come up, please? Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Sure.
So when we have a short-term rental of 5 bedrooms and more, and we are on a private well with a private septic, in our earlier applications, we've had printouts of the septic cleaning out. Is that something we have to require of the?
They did not
Applicant.
provide anything like that. If there were no bedrooms added since 2007,
Right, so we've got the.
they would
clean
be on the
slate.
clean slate
Yeah.
and we wouldn't require any wastewater permitting. Any bedrooms that they've added after 2007, though, they would have to show a wastewater permit from the state for.
Right, so you haven't added any bedrooms to your building, to your
Correct.
house.
Correct.
So- And you have, under the state 2007 Clean Slate Act.
If they've had no septic problems.
Right.
They
Have
haven't
you
had any
had
failures.
septic problems to the best of your knowledge?
We have not. We've also had a cleaning since we purchased the property. So I can provide the Uncle Bob's report if you
So
if
would
you
you
need
be so
leave to
kind-
amend the application.
So can you get from whomever you had pump your septic, would you be so kind as to send that
To Jessica?
to Jessica? Just,
Yeah.
I mean, the bill is fine, just so that we can put that in the file.
Sure.
And Diane, can we add that as an additional exhibit? And then your well, your private well, have you had that tested or anything?
don't-
We have not.
We don't require that, so that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, but if you just send that, just the bill would be fine.
Sure.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jessica.
All right, well, that concludes all of the sections. And if there's any questions or comments on this end,
I have nothing, John.
I have no questions.
yourself, how,
I have no questions.
you're good? Okay, great. All
Well,
right,
thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
You're
All
going
right.
to close your hearing at 5:38. And as Diane said, 45 days, but we do our best to not take that. It should be quick. And Jessica, when she gets our decision, will send it to you. And we have no interested parties. So we're good.
All right, thank you.
So much.
thanks.
You all.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, thank you. So 5:38, close that one.
Okay.
And I am going to open the hearing. Matthew and Kathleen, come on up. Have seats.
Good evening.
Good evening. So I'm going to open the hearing on application 2024-154. Your property address is 168, 178 Shearer Hill Road. And you have a post office box here in town. Your proposal is a 3-bedroom short-term rental permit for 1 unit and for a 4-bedroom short-term rental permit for the other unit, which is totaling 7 bedrooms for short-term rental use in the residential district. We are looking at the same old, Article 2, Section 221, 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, 271, 272. Article 4, Section 420, 440, and 450C, and Article 7, Section 710, 720, 721, 722, 730D and H. And as we have a case manager, John Gannon is your case manager. I would just like to ask the board any conflicts of interest for ex parte discussions. Thank you so much. If you're both going to give witness, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Turn it over to John.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Good evening.
Good evening.
We're just going to first go through the exhibits that you provided. Exhibit 1 is the DRB cover sheet. Exhibit 2 is the warning of the DRB hearing. Exhibit 3 is the application for DRB review. Exhibit 4 is Division of Fire Safety inspection results. Exhibit 5 is sewer treatment plan. Exhibit 6 is the floor plan. Exhibit 7 is the short-term rental safety, health, and financial obligations checklist. Exhibit 8 is the Division of Fire Safety fire inspection results and certificate of occupancy. Exhibit 9 is appointment confirmation rate out-of-state license transfer. Not sure why that was there, but it's there.
I don't know why.
Exhibit 10 is a wastewater system and potable water supply permit application. Exhibit 11 is a Department of Environmental Conservation letter dated 11/22/2006. Exhibit 12 is a wastewater and potable water supply permit. Exhibit 13 is an Endyne and various other lab reports. There's 12 pages of those. Exhibit 14 is a letter from Merrill Mundell dated January 14th, 2008 with attachments. Exhibit 15 is a letter from the Wilmington zoning administrator dated April 26, 2024. Exhibit 16 is pictures of 168, 178 Shearer Hill. And then finally is a list of abutters, which is exhibit 17.
You also have an additional exhibit for you, which is interior pictures of the house we brought with us today. If you'd like to take a look
Sure.
at this.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
God knows we need more paper.
So that's 178.
Okay.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you so much.
So do you want to just briefly explain why you're here and what you're seeking from the DRB?
Sure. So we are here to obtain a permit to add a special use to our property for short-term rentals. We are living in one of the units right now. We've become permanent residents of Wilmington, and we're very excited about that. Our older son is going off to UVM, and we're really just happy to be here and making this our home.
For the record, our younger son is going to you, and our older
Oh.
son is going to Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, Marist, okay, yeah. I got them confused. And the dogs too, just,
Okay, so even though you're living in one of the units, you're asking for it to be a short-term rental too.
just in the event
Good.
that we need it.
Okay. So as you've heard twice now, I'm going to take you through the various zoning ordinances, and we're going to start with the administrative procedures, which is you're here tonight because we're having a hearing to hear from you and from anybody else, but there's no one else here. So lucky you. We will just hear from you unless Jessica Roberts has something to say. So we go through this process. We hear from you. We gather information. Then we close the hearing. Then we have a deliberation, we make a decision, and then, we send the decision to you, hopefully as quickly as we can. Typically, it will not take 45 days.
Thank you.
So that's what the administrative section's about. Do you have any questions about that? Great. Then we're going to move on to Article 4, which is districts and uses. And so in the district and uses, you're in the residential district. And so the property is identified on the tax map parcel as 10-4-44. And the change of use you're requiring totals 7 short-term rental guest rooms. And therefore, because of that, that becomes a conditional use in the residential district. And that's why you're here tonight, is because it's a conditional use, which has to be approved by the DRB.
So I just want to clarify, if you had, excuse me, John, if you had done just one of the units, then Jessica could have done it. But because you were doing both units, that's how you came into our pleasure.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, John.
No problem. So as you heard, now we're going to go through the performance standards and the things that we have to review with you. So just as you previously heard, are there going to be any continuous, permanent, ongoing, or vibrations that will be discernible from the property line? Great. Will there be any ongoing or frequent noise in excess of a normal conversation at the property line? Oh, good. Will there be any air emissions from commercial operations? No, great. Will there be any electromagnetic, liquid, solid, refuse, waste, heat, cold, dampness, explosion, fire, glare, or other hazards which will cause injury or damage to human or animal health, vegetation, or property?
Definitely not.
Excellent. Okay.
We have to.
We're so relieved.
So, you've provided a site plan as well as pictures of the property, and we will review those. So then we move on to the conditional use standards, preserving the character of the town. Is it consistent with the character of the town? It will contribute to economic development. Is development consistent with our rural, agricultural, and historic nature of the town? It's not a formula business. We don't have to worry about square footage or utility placement. So is it your belief that your property is consistent with the rural and agricultural heritage and conforms to the standards that I just referenced?
Yes.
Excellent. Then we go to specific standards, which are under section 730. And the two that were identified is commercial parking and loading. And I believe you had a site plan that showed the parking on property, which I believe was 8 parking spots.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, so there's 8 parking spots on the property. And I think that's really the only thing we need to identify there. And you provided oodles of information on wastewater and potable water.
We did a whole lot of research.
So I believe you have a wastewater permit? correct?
We do.
And you also have a permit for your well.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I will not go through the lengthy exhibits there.
When you
It
buy a
goes.
home from the premier real estate agent in the area, you certainly get a lot of information.
Okay, you did.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so, do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so, other than, do you have any further questions or concerns for us?
No, and, let me ask Diane and Cheryl if they have any questions.
No, it's
thank
pretty
you.
Okay.
complete.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Jessica's got her hand
Jessica.
up.
Well,
I just have one thing to point out. Notice some of the rooms have like a pool gym, play bed, but the race worker clearly says 14. Correct. Yes.
All right, we can close the hearing.
Okay, we're gonna close your hearing. Thank you so much at 5:49.
Thank you all so
And
much.
as you
Thank you for
heard
your
us
time.
say, we'll get this out as quickly as possible. We will send our decision to Jessica. Jessica will then send it to you.
And
Wonderful.
I would like to say, Jessica, thank you so much for
She's
all
been
of your
wonderful.
assistance. She's been wonderful.
Yeah,
Appreciate
she's-
your help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
welcome. We appreciate you.
All right.
And good luck with the boys in school.
Thank you so much.
Your must be empty nesters.
Oh, wow.
School is the easy part, us figuring out if we still like each other. Have a great night.
Take
Good
care.
night,
Thanks
good
for
night.
coming in. Okay, so close that, and I have no other new or old business.
I think
So
Shut-
may I have a motion to adjourn
Mo-
at 5:50?
a motion
Adjourn the meeting.
to adjourn the meeting.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
a
Diane is
motion.
moving.
Yes, I'm giving.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
in favor, Cheryl, aye. Oh,
Aye.
you don't have to say Cheryl. Aye, aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so we're closed at 5:50. So we need to turn that off.
And close the door.
Thank you so much. And you want to grab the three sheets there?